NBC Sports Bay Area. And Raffy Devers, ladies and gentlemen, is heating up. Willy Adames, dare I say, is heating up. And the San Francisco Giants are winners of 3 of their last 4. Not only of their last 4 games, but 3 of their last 4 against the Dodgers. What? Yeah, that's right. 9-3 the final in L.A. This guy, Trevor McDonald, where did this guy come from? And I know it was a grind yesterday. He was cruising until he wasn't. That's a really difficult lineup that is struggling in L.A. I expect them to be there at the end of the season. They're that damn talented. They're struggling right now. But Trevor McDonald in a spot start, Joe, when Logan Webb goes on the IL. We know what he did his last go-around. 5 1/3 innings, 9 hits, 3 earned runs. Just has a calming presence on the mound that I did not expect. And for the bullpen to pick him up on top of that, Matt Gage, inning in 2/3. You got Keaton Wynn. You got my guy, Brubaker, closing out the game with the strikeout there. That was a nice win and a nice tone setter for what is a really big series. Listen, am I trying to say that the season's all okay now and this is the moment where they turn things around? I don't know. They're 7 games under 500, but you got to start somewhere. And that was nice to see last night to start off the week.
Yeah, and in a weird way, they kind of left a lot of runs out there as well. I thought that Jung-Hoo Lee started the game off aggressive, and I think that kind of set the tone for the entire day.
Teoscar Jimenez making a hell of a play.
It's a great play. It's a great play, but to see him go the other way, I thought that was kind of the theme of the night. For the Giants. And then, they go right now as Raffy Devers goes. I mean, he's really been the catalyst for this team. I was looking at some of the numbers. He started this season, first 30 games, he's hitting .203 with a .530 OPS. Well, the last couple weeks here, 361, 13 of his last 36. He's got 7 extra base hits and 8 RBIs. And obviously the home run is what everyone's going to look at. I thought the at-bat of the night was the 7-pitch walk that he drew in the 7th inning when it was a 3-3 tie. And then Willy Adames ends up, coming in and finally going the other way, similar to Jung-Hoo Lee, in a 2-strike approach and 2 outs going off the wall. I mean, that was monster for this team. And you referenced Willy. Obviously, the last 2 days in particular, extremely hot, but 9 for his last 30.
Well, you just look at the month of May. He came into this month, Joe, just batting .200, batting .215 now. And I know the guy's making over $150, $160 million. You want to see more of him. I heard Willard's rant yesterday about this guy. There's a lot of frustration with Willy Adames.
Willard had a rant on him?
He did.
I would love to hear it.
Mark Willard, yeah. Well, maybe we can find it. Boys in the back.
Channeling his inner Shaska. So now we can switch up one of those rejoins where he's telling me to stop being so angry. It's good.
No, calm down. You can tell Mark Willard to calm down. Well, don't tell him how to fan. Just don't do that.
Well, don't tell me how to feel.
Don't do that.
I mean,
Willy Adames. I'm not telling Willy how to feel either, although some fans and some program directors are very upset that he was dapping up one Mookie Betts at second base. Just, hey, if you're hitting, it doesn't matter. If you're not producing, these are the things that pisses off fans. Oh, it's a Dodger. It's Mookie Betts. You can't be happy with this guy. This is not what I want to see. All I know is we've been crushing Willy Adames. Sure. The guy's playing well right now.
Sure.
Can we give him some credit?
Absolutely.
Can we do that? That's what I want to do.
And, God, the Giants taking 3 of 4 from the Dodgers overall this year is huge. 3 of 4 of their last 4 games in terms of, Pirates and now the Dodgers. Yeah, I thought it was just...
What do you make of that, real quick? I know it's a small sample size, but 3 of 4 against the Dodgers, and we always talk about heading into the season, Joe, the NL West and taking care of business within your own division, and everyone knows the Dodgers are the cream of the crop, and no one expects them to not be there at the end of the season because they're just so damn talented and so damn loaded, even in a down year so far for Shohei Ohtani. But I do think it's meaningful for Buster Posey and for Tony Vitello that they have won 3 of 4 against this team. I do think that's meaningful.
No, I love it. I'm looking at this Dodger team, just got my eyes on them. Ohtani's struggling
at the plate. I will say that because pitching wise, he's been insane.
But through the Shohei Ohtani curve, he has not been playing well offensively. Mookie Betts just returned. He's got like 35 at-bats, but he's kind of struggling right now. Yeah. He doesn't look right. You know what I mean? In terms of being locked in right now. It's still his spring training.
Yeah, well, and he hasn't for a minute. Mookie Betts,
I've
right?
been telling
it's
you.
been
Looks like he's more of a professional golfer than he is professional baseball player these days.
Just don't be playing an Olympic club.
Yeah, Freddie Freeman. Well, I did meet him out there.
You did meet. Oh, thank you. You had to drop the name. I did meet him. As long as he's playing and not a
But
LeBron
he wasn't
James.
on a Saturday when no guest play was allowed. It was on a weekday in between games. So that's totally different. Carter feels me.
Okay.
I got an email back. It was actually on a Friday that LeBron played. The guy really shoved it in my face.
Oh, so he was allowed to play that day, Carter, right?
I guess.
It was a Friday, Joe. It's okay now.
I don't know. JP Money disagrees with that.
All I know is he has a lot more time to golf because his Lakers just got eliminated last night. So
Freddie Freeman, his
Tough night in
numbers
LA.
by his own standards are a little down right now.
I know he's still batting 270, but to your point, yeah.
I mean, he's a 330 hitter last year or whatever it was. And then, the guy who's just, I don't know what to make of him, Kyle Tucker, not performing at the same level. Devers has more home runs than him.
He does.
So for all the craziness regarding Devers, Tucker was the guy that signed the monster deal this year. So I just look up and down that lineup and I say, there are a lot of guys that they're expecting to perform at a level that are just performing below their level, and yet they're still winning a lot of games.
They are, and the beef getting it done yesterday is what you want to see if you're the Giants.
Yes.
Right? You want to see the Devers, the Ramoses, and God love Elliot Ramos. He's scorching the ball lately. My guy on the base paths is just... It's just a struggle to watch, man. He was out by 50 feet yesterday.
The infield was in.
Why was he doing that?
I don't get
on
it.
top of the game before where Kipe on the call was telling him to run home because he didn't hit a good read on the ball for the walk-off. It's been an adventure, to say the least.
Have I not been on this?
No, you have been. You have been.
It's been a 2-year thing.
Well, he did it all last year. I know. So
this is where and I tell a lot of young parents who are I don't want my child to play video games. Well, if you want him to be a baseball player, no, I'm being real. If you want him to be a baseball player, one thing that the video games will teach you are the fundamentals. Of base running and situations and things like that.
It's like when you play Madden, you'll know clock management if you play video games.
Exactly.
It does translate.
Yeah, and don't go for it on 4th and 12.
That's true.
It's true on 18.
Unless you're Dan Campbell. Yeah. He plays a lot of Madden at 2 a.m. out in Detroit.
Exactly. But this is a real thing. I truly believe that playing video games, it just boosts your situational awareness acumen. And this guy just got a real tough feel for the base pass of when to go, when not to go. I mean, he made 2 outs at home yesterday.
It was bad. We are coming to you live.
He had a great game, though.
No, he's been hitting the cover off the ball. He's batting nearly 280, Joe.
But I will say, and I'm not trying to pick on Ramos here. I'm not. I'm very happy after winning that game. And I know everyone in Giants Nation, trust me, we'll get to Eldridge in a second.
Oh, yeah.
But if you're telling me Pat Bailey kind of offended Buster's baseball sensibilities regarding how he played the position, you can't think that Elliot Ramos running the bases is Buster's yeah, it's okay, I'll look the other way. I
know.
Something's there.
By the way, something's there. Something was not there yesterday in the Giants lineup. Again, that being the guy that was called up, just a little while ago, the highly touted prospect, the number 1 prospect in the Giants organization, Bryce Eldridge. And, it's frustrating if you're a fan and you're hoping to see this guy day in and day out on a team that's struggling and needs some pizzazz and some pop. You saw him hit the home run over the weekend. Mm-hmm. The guy turned it in. I mean, that ball was so inside. And the way he was able to have that torque and turn on it, and it was almost a splash hit. It bounced into the water, not quite a splash hit. I think a lot of Giants are that's different. I want to see more of that guy. I want to see him play. I want to see him play through his struggles. I think that was what Giants fans thought the promise was when he came up. And when Tony Vitello said, hey, don't get comfortable up here. Veterans, the Chapmans, the Adameses, the Devers. Hey, you might have to take a seat from time to time because these young guys are pushing. The Casey Schmitz of the world, he's playing well. He deserves a spot every single day. I think a lot of Giants fans felt the same way with Bryce Eldridge when he got the call up. And then you don't see him yesterday in a series where you want to see your young prospect go against the best, against the 2-time defending champs, against guys in the other lineup like the Shohei Ohtanis, against a guy like Roki Sasaki, who is a big name in the sport. And you get the tweet yesterday from Susan Slusser, who covers the Giants for the Chronicle. Vitello, without quite saying it this bluntly, is pretty clear that Eldridge mostly will come off the bench with Devers the primary first baseman and Schmidt the team's most productive hitter all year. He will make some starts here and there, but most of his at-bats will be pinch hitting spots. And keep in mind, for everyone losing their minds over these, that the group decisions are with the front office and the staff. So it's not just Tony Vitello. That's what Susan Slusser followed up there. But that came out, and I'm just looking at it right now. There was like 200, comments on that post, which tells me fans are pissed. They're not happy.
No.
They were promised Bryce Eldridge, and they're not getting Bryce Eldridge. And I ask you that, Joe, are they right to be upset and angry?
Absolutely. I'm looking at this team right now, and look, you paid a lot of guys a lot of money to perform, and some of them are starting to come around and perform, but you have a lot of guys that just aren't performing at all. They brought this kid up, and here's how I view these things. You have to have a plan, and you have to stay committed to your plan, and look, can things change your plans and alter them? Absolutely. Every individual in your company, and if you worked corporate levels at anywhere, they're like, all right, I hired Joe Spadoni, okay? Here is his individual development plan that we're working on within this company. We're going to train him. We're going to have him work here. And then, from there, we'll figure out where we want to have him go. But part of that training process and that development process is, hey, we're going to have him work with Carter. And then we're going to have him go work with Sam Lubman. And then we're going to have him go work with Joe Shasky. And he's going to learn all the finer things. And we're going to start off with him learning like the technical board stuff and then work our way up. And eventually we'll get to booking guests and we'll get to producing shows before we even get to like hosting.
Sure.
There's an entire development track plan. And I wonder, did you guys just elevate this guy to just appease the fans because you were going through a losing streak? Or did you have a carved out specific developmental plan for probably the most important prospect you've had in a decade? I think that's pretty simple saying.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand why they have felt the need to sit him against multiple righties 3 out of the last 4 days. And it feels like the guy's actually hitting the ball well Saturday night when no one was hitting the ball well. And you bench him the next day. All right. I didn't love that after he hits a home run. And then you bench him again. And you don't give him a pinch hit at bat. And what I find very odd, and again, I'm not even going to lose my mind today because I've already done that. I already know where I'm at. And I think a trade is imminent. I don't want to sound ridiculous. I'm being very serious. I think a big trade is imminent, whether that be Bryce, whether that be one of the other guys, Chapman, Devers, Adames, someone else, Jung-Hoo Lee. No, I really do. Like,
no, I'm not like scoffing at that.
Because the only other explanation, Joe, is malpractice. I mean, this is what other organization in baseball would stymie one of the most important prospects they've had in a long time?
Well, you said it right there. Like this team has struggled with the whole prospect agenda for a decade now.
100%.
They don't know what they're doing in this pipeline for a long time. Now, you have Buster Posey at the helm. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, trying to fix this thing that he inherited from Farhan Zaidi. And it looks like, when I look at the rankings, he's done a pretty good job. They're like, 13th, 14th, something like that. They're middle of the pack.
They've climbed
which is significant because they're bottom of the barrel for years and years and years. So I do want to start there. That being said, to your point, I don't know what the plan is for this guy. What do you think their plan was in mind when they brought him up? I don't know.
Well, I think at the beginning of the year, before they broke camp, I think that their idea was, all right, we'll see with Casey Schmidt. Right? I really do. I think they were like, we'll see with Casey Schmidt. We got Devers, we got Chapman, we got Adames. We'll see with Casey Schmidt as like a utility guy. Well, then he got really hot. And it was like, oh my gosh, like he's got to play every single day. And so like on one level, this is a good problem to have. But on another level, like this is kind of what you flirted with when you acquired Raffy Devers. Yeah. And it made a lot of sense back then. But when you take on a 9-year contract and you have, limited positional versatility with Raffy Devers, there is a redundancy here. And so I kind of was it 3 weeks ago? I think, was it me and you, Sam? Where I said, I think they're going to have to make a choice here, guys. Either it's Casey or Eldridge or one of these other guys is the odd man out.
Well, and I think that's an easy choice for me. I'm moving one of the old guys. I want to keep the youth movement going right now.
You're committed financially to them, right?
Well,
and so that's where I think it complicates things.
I'll find a partner that's willing to take it on, right?
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
But they brought him up on Monday, okay? He played right away. Chapman sat one day in that week plus. Adames didn't sit at all. Now, Adames is heating up the last couple of days. All right. Chapman's in a deep abyss. Raffy Devers is heating up. All right, that makes sense. Casey's remained hot. 2 hits again yesterday.
It's been great.
I think the big takeaway is that the team overall is drawing walks, which is great. But Chapman, 3 for his last 27.
Eesh.
It's like, all right, well, let me zoom out a little more. Well, he's 7 for his last 55. Oh, my God. Well, let me zoom out some more. Well, he's striking out almost 28% of the time.
Jesus. Oh, my God. He's been awful.
Joe.
At the plate.
Joe, he's been horrible. He struck out in his last 55 at-bats. He struck out 20 times. Now, he had a big hit on Sunday, right?
He did.
And I think that where we're at here is that with the emergence of Casey Schmidt, which was unforeseen, and the precipitous decline in production from Chapman and Adames to start the season, and to a lesser degree, Raffy Devers, it has made things really, really difficult to find spots to get Eldridge out there. Now, on one level, I do understand it. On another level, but why'd you bring him up? Like, why'd you bring him up if you weren't committed to playing him? Because when you brought the guy up, to me, you had to stay committed to playing him through the ups and downs. There's a guy who's playing shortstop right now for the Pittsburgh Pirates, Connor Griffin. And he didn't really start off hot, but he plays every single day.
And they believe in him so much, they gave him a $100 million contract.
Within the first week of him breaking camp. So I look at this and I say to myself, a trade, like, they're not this stupid. There's no chance in hell they could be this stupid. But yesterday afternoon, seeing Giants fans so united over the handling or mishandling of Bryce Eldridge, it made me feel good. It made me feel good that we care so much about this team, and that I think that something is going down with a monster trade. It could be Bryce. It could be Chapman. It could be Adames. It could be Ramos. It could be Jung-Hoo Lee. I don't know who it could be. Are they moving Jung-Hoo Lee to center field, putting Ramos in right and Schmidt in left field? I don't know. But something has got to settle here.
So I'm glad you brought that up, because Bob Nightengale, longtime baseball columnist, insider for USA Today, had this over the weekend, and I brought it up yesterday. I want to bring it up now because Bob is going to be joining us at 9 o'clock today, Joe, on the River Islands guest line. Can't wait for that. This is a little excerpt he had. The Giants would love to unload outfielder Jung-Hoo Lee, shortstop Willy Adames, first baseman Raffy Devers, and Matt Chapman, and start over. They just don't have that luxury. Instead, they may have no choice but to shop their biggest trade chip in starter Robbie Ray, who will be a free agent after this season. Some executives insist they would also listen to offers for ace Logan Webb, yet it's highly unlikely the Giants would move him, considering the premier starter only has 3 years remaining on a reasonable 5-year deal, I should say, for $90 million. Bob Nightengale is saying they could do that. And we're going to talk to him at 9 o'clock if he foresees that happening sooner rather than later. I want to pick this up on the other side.
Well, and there's a guy who's in a no-win spot here. And it's not Buster Posey.
Oh.
Yeah, and I think we've put this guy in a no-win spot, and I'm kind of ticked off for him.